What is going on, y'all? Welcome back. It has been a long time.
We're here.
This feels actually kind of weird to me, to be honest with you.
I love it.
I'm kind of uncomfortable right now. I'm used to seeing you through a computer screen.
I know.
We are back, bro.
Let's go.
Football season is here.
Heck
Congratulations on the new job.
Hey, thanks, man.
It's almost like God said, listen, we're going to put you right down the street.
Hey, let's go.
So you literally come right over to me afterwards.
We were worried for a bit there because I was working pretty far away.
Yeah.
And that's why we started doing virtual stuff because it would be a lot to kind of drive back.
Such a far drive.
But I'm working right back down the road again.
So we're good to go.
Let's go, baby.
We're back, and we're back. We're going to be doing year 2. That's so crazy. This is our second full year of doing football.
Let's go, man.
That's nuts.
Hey, we're here.
Wait, come on, man. We ain't going nowhere either. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Come on.
But all right, guys. So what we're thinking about doing is we want to kind of give, like we did last year, kind of go into each conference, right, and talk about each separate division in each big conference and talk about who we think is going to win, where the teams are going to land, and why. Right, so I figured we'll start AFC, since it's the first thing on me at least up here. We'll go AFC East. So obviously we have the Patriots, we have the Jets, we have the Bills, and we have the Dolphins.
The AFC East is actually one of the more interesting divisions in my eyes.
Agreed.
We went from, Bills the Patriots kind of own the whole thing to Brady leaving, and now the Bills pretty much own the whole thing. Patriots did a lot of improving.
Yeah.
A lot of improving. Question marks at the quarterback position still a little bit. Mac Jones looked okay in his first preseason game.
They didn't ask him to do much.
A lot of check down stuff. That's the stuff he's good at, though.
Right.
So they wanted to just kind of, put that forward. The Dolphins got a lot better this year.
Yep.
They added a lot of firepower onto that offense, which is exactly what they needed. That defense is already pretty solid. The Jets added some good pieces, but they're the Jets, so I'm not expecting much.
I mean, question mark at quarterback, right? You don't know. You never know what a rookie quarterback is ever going to do, right?
Exactly.
So I know at least for me, I'm not going to put much stock there. Not yet, at least.
No.
I want to see it first.
And he looked good in his first game, but...
It's preseason.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Everybody's getting so hyped up. It's preseason, man. 3/4 of the defense that's out there doesn't even know what they're doing yet.
Sure.
That's why you see all these wide open receivers like it's college still. It's because nobody knows what they're doing yet. They're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then obviously you're about to go into the Bills. I think that's kind of a no-brainer. They came back. They're pretty much the exact same team that they were last year.
And better.
I mean, any year that you have pretty much the whole team back together, you're gonna get better, right? You just build that congruency. You build that relationship with your teammates. And I know, at least for me, as much as it pains me to say it, I think the Patriots are going to give them a run, but I still think the Bills will probably win the division.
Sure.
Now, in terms of win-losses, I'm not exactly sure yet. I haven't dove into the schedules like that yet, to be honest with you.
And I think we stick to just order of standing. What's your order for the AFC East?
So I'm thinking I'm going to go Bills. I'm going to go Patriots at 2. I think they slide into a wild card spot. I'm going to go Dolphins and then Jets.
So, I will go Bills first as well, and I will go Jets last as well.
Yeah.
I think those are the pretty obvious ones. The Patriots got a lot better, but so did the Dolphins.
Yep.
And I think the difference between these two teams in my eyes is that defense. The Dolphins' defense was awesome last year. They did an excellent job.
They were scrappy.
That was what held that team in that wild card chase towards the end of that year.
What were they, top 3 in turnovers created and points
like
off turnovers?
Absolutely. I think. And they had a lot of indecision at quarterback. They had
Tua and then Fitzmagic.
I want to call him Magic Johnson. Yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they had Tua, and neither one was spectacular.
Right.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Do the Patriots start Cam Newton? Do they start Mac Jones? I think they start Cam.
I do too.
I think he hits a rhythm a little late. It's going to take him a while. By a game, I'll say Dolphins ahead of Patriots. By a game. And I think that game is what's going to decide who gets that playoff spot for them. But I will go Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
I think it's interesting, right? Because I think for me, I actually go the opposite direction. I think the Bills and the Patriots separate themselves early, and I think they keep the separation.
Okay.
I think because with the Dolphins, this is the first year Tua is actually going to be in the driver's seat, right? he was never in the driver's seat last year. You know, he was in, he was out. Oh, any kind of high stakes moment, we want Magic in there. You know, that's weird to me.
Sure.
I think with the Patriots, I think what they're going to do is they're going to simplify, and they're going to give Cam Newton the best opportunity to succeed, which I hope they would do.
Sure.
And what I mean by that is I think they're going to run a 12 personnel. 1 running back, 2 tight ends at all times. I mean, you didn't go get Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry for no reason.
Those tight ends are scary.
Oh, yeah. And if you look at when Cam Newton had his MVP season in Carolina, they were running a 12 personnel. 1 running back, 2 tight ends at all times. So they're going to keep the throw short. They're going to keep the completion percentage high. And they're not going to ask them to go downfield a lot. And I think with Cam Newton, I actually have high expectations for him this year. Because if you look at just his mechanic of throwing the football, and obviously it's a lot of practice throws. It's not game time things. I get that. And I'm not putting a ton of stock into it. But the film also doesn't lie just in terms of pure mechanics. And I said this last year, it looks like they almost uncorked a screw in his shoulder to allow him to actually get rotation.
Sure.
He wasn't able to rotate his arm last year. It was just like he was throwing from the shoulder. It was very Phil Rivers-esque in the sense that there's just like no mechanics. It's just like a slingshot.
Yep.
And I just think I actually think the Patriots defense is going to get better too, because you got to keep in mind, you know, they had a lot of losses to COVID last year in terms of, you know, opt-outs, things like that. Obviously, Patrick Chung retiring is a big hit. What's going to happen with Stephon Gilmore, we don't know yet. I mean, that's still on the fence, but, you know, bringing back J.C. Jackson, still having a stud back there in McCourty, Devin McCourty at safety, you know, and then bringing Hightower back, and having a defensive line which is scrappy. You know, I can't necessarily say they apply a ton of pressure, but scrappy.
Yep.
You know, I think they'll secure second. I think they'll be a playoff team this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up going that way. In my eyes, it's Bills, big gap, Patriots, Dolphins,
Agreed.
Big gap, Jets.
Agreed.
If you were to swap any of those two in the middle,
Wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep, me either.